You ever doodled something and then immediately thought that you need to throw it away? Or perhaps you think you can't draw at all and so you just don't. It's something I hear a lot. I can't draw, or I can just about draw a stick person. Well, honestly, a stick person is a perfectly good starting point. Drawing is probably something that you used to do a lot as a child, but at some point you've maybe started thinking that you weren't good enough, or you might not have been encouraged to carry on as you were with writing, say, and so you've stopped. Well, today we're going to change that. I'm Anne-Marie and I'm a visual strategist. That's a title that wraps up quite a few things, including doodling. My friend Tanya and I have an agency called Carbon Orange, based in Cambridge. We've been in business together for nearly 10 years, helping organisations of all sizes, from small startups to big corporates, with their visuals. We have a particular interest in events, bringing the whole visual thread through the event journey, from branding through event graphics, presentations, visual notes on the day, all the way through to save the date graphics for the next year's event. And now we also offer our own events, doodle workshops. I've always drawn and doodled since I could hold a pen, usually combining drawing with writing, and so drawing visual notes is a natural fit for me. I use doodling to work things out. I draw for fun and as a starting point for designing before reaching for the laptop. A while ago, I was invited by a company called Curve, who we had worked with previously, to run a visualization skills section of a workshop for a team at Comic Relief in London. And it was really great getting out, working with a group, having fun with pens and paper, and watching people who'd walked into the room saying, "I can't draw," leave with something meaningful. And that was the starting point, really, for doodle workshops. Doodling might seem like a frivolous activity, but it's actually proven to help with focus. There's research that shows that doodlers retain 29% more information. This comes from an experiment that was done where subjects were given a really boring voicemail to listen to. The doodling people just drew and coloured in a simple shape while they listened, and it made that big a difference to how much information they contained compared to the people who just listened and didn't doodle. Now imagine if you're doodling in your notes, something relevant to the topic you're listening to, and how that might help the content stick in your brain when you look back at the page. And just the physical act of moving your hand across paper can help get ideas unstuck. It can also be a mindful, calming practice, giving us a gentle dopamine hit. And there's something that happens when a group doodles together. People relax, the playing field levels out, and you get a different kind of conversation. And it's for anyone. If you can write, then you can doodle. So what we're going to do for the next little while are some simple warm-up exercises, followed by a little bit of instruction, and then I have a fun project for you. There's no perfection here, no judgment, nothing is a mistake, only interesting lines and happy accidents. It's about ideas, not art. Hopefully you have pen and paper handy, preferably a dark marker pen or felt tip and some plain A4, but even a biro and some post-it notes will do. And if you can have your phone handy for later, please. This is like a small taster session of what we bring to groups as a team building activity to help people think visually together to get ideas out of heads and onto paper or walls, or to inject some energy into a strategy day that might otherwise be a sea of bullet points. If any of this resonates and you'd like to bring a session into your team, or you know a group who might benefit, message me at the end or find us at carbonorange.com. Details are in the chat. Right, that's enough of me talking. Let's get into some doodling, shall we? Pens up, everyone. So I'm going to stop sharing And I'm going to change my camera view so you can see my paper. Let me know if I can see. Yes. Is that okay for everyone? Thumbs up. Great. Thank you. So first of all, if you're ready, I would love us to do just a little check-in, how we're feeling at the beginning of the session. So just a really simple circle to start with. And then let's fill that in with a very simple face, dots for eyes, a line for the mouth, just to, like the emojis that you'll see on the phone, and just how you're feeling at the start of this. So I'm going to do smiley but slightly nervous. That's me at the start. And you're very welcome, or not, to hold them up to the screen so we can see when you've finished. Ah, lovely. Ah, thank you. Fabulous. Thank you very much. So now we're going to go into our warm-up. And this is partly to get over the fear of the blank page, but also just to practice drawing our lines. So it'd be nice if we're all drawing really nice, confident lines. The temptation can be sometimes to draw little feathery, sketchy strokes, but we want nice, confident lines to communicate clearly and to have that feeling of our hand flowing across the page. So what I'd like us to do is take a deep breath in through our nose and let it go out through your mouth. And then with lovely flowing strokes, we're just going to fill up our page with random, going anywhere, squiggles, fill it up. As I say, there's no right or wrong. We're just making a squiggly mess. And then when you've filled the page, just spend a little time filling in some of these shapes. That can be with lines, or it can be with dots, or it can be with wiggles. It can be with zigzags. Anything you like to fill up some of those shapes and just enjoy the feeling of the pen on the paper and creating something very random. And then when you've got to a point where you feel like you're happy with that, or you've done enough, if you want to hold your paper up to the screen so we can all have a look. Marvelous. Ah, lovely. Thank you. Smashing. If you want another activity to do after the event, then what you can do, just as a little other mindful practice, is cut your piece up into squares and rearrange them and stick them down to make your own little abstract artwork. It's just a little idea for you for later. So that's our warm up. And now we're going to draw a doodle alphabet. This helps us to get over that feeling that we can't draw. As I was saying, if you can write your name, then you can draw. And this is a little bit like learning to write an alphabet. And out of these 12 shapes we're going to draw, you can make hundreds, thousands of different drawings. So here we go. If you draw along with me, these 12 shapes. So first of all, we have just a straight line. Our next one is a square. Now these shapes can be manipulated, so that can become a rectangle, for example. Similarly, your circle could become a squashed oval shape. And then we have a triangle and a simple dot and a half circle. And of course, as well as being squished and squashed, they can be rotated. We've got a curve, kind of like an upside down J. An S shape. A curl. Spiral. The U shape. And upside down Y. So yeah, with these shapes, we can draw lots of things in order to communicate things with people or add into our notes. So if we're thinking about working from home, for example, we might have, if you draw along with me for this, very simple, there's our rectangle, here's our semicircle. We might now have a nice hot cup of coffee. We might have another rectangle. Straight line. We'd have our U shape with flip upside down and our circle. And then we've got our laptop and somebody that we're speaking to on Zoom. Is everyone good with this so far? Thumbs up, excellent, thank you. What else might we have at home? Might we be doing? We might just want to draw our paper. Our pen. And our writing. Or maybe you've got a cat that likes to join in your Zoom meetings, as some of them do. And there you have a simple cat. Now on my next sheet, this is especially for Drive. So another thing we could draw, if we start off with a oval shape in the middle of our page, like so. We'll add a rectangle on top of that. We'll have two of the semicircles. Two of the U shapes, but upside down. And we'll have some dots here. two circles, two more dots, straight lines. And then we can fill up this shape here with some squares, some triangles. And if you've not been to a Drive meeting before, you should know that as well as talking about business, we also have a lot of laughs and quite often giraffes. So I thought it would be appropriate for us to draw a giraffe today. Could have some eyelashes. I think giraffes usually have lovely long eyelashes. And there we are, a giraffe for Drive. Has everyone got a giraffe? Or some semblance of? Lovely. Oh, fabulous. Brilliant. Oh, lovely. Thank you, everybody. So, you know how I mentioned earlier about stick people? Well, they are, as I said, a perfectly good way to portray a person. Everyone can recognize what it is. But what I'd like us to do is to try a slightly elevated version of that, which we'll call the brick person. So we just, instead of the stick body, we'll start with a rectangle, add our head on top, and then the legs will come from, we've now got hips, so the legs will come from those, and instead of just straight lines as you might with a stick person, we can make them a little bit more like slightly cooked noodles, so they have a bit of flexibility. And the same with the arms. And we can also add a little simple nose, just a line, which gives us some direction of which ways the head is pointing. Pop on an eye, and there's your stick person. So just by having shoulders, you can draw a neck or you don't have to. There you go. Just by giving it a brick for a body, it's now got shoulders and it's now got hips, and it just gives it a bit more dynamism and character. So I wonder, as it's World Cup, perhaps we have a go at drawing some footballing brick people. So we might put the brick slightly at an angle, the head on top. We might have it running. There's the ball. One arm there, one arm there. That's number 2. Or if you've got any other poses that you want to draw, by all means, draw those. So we might have our goalkeeper flying through the air. And then you can also, with the shapes that we've done, you might want to do a self-portrait or somebody else, but you can start to give them a bit of character. You can maybe add some hair, or you could have them holding something. And so your characters can sort of start telling a story then. Or meditating person. How's everybody getting along with that? Fantastic. Ah, brilliant. Love those, David. Ah, brilliant, Thor. Thank you. Lovely, Jill. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go on to our little project. To start with, what I want us to do is around the edge of the page, we are going to just draw a simple cloud. This is partly so we're not dealing with a blank page, which can feel a bit scary, but also because what I want us to do is just to spend a moment imagining ourselves in the future. So it could be 1 year's time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time. It could be something about where you're imagining your business being, or it could be a goal of somewhere where you'd like to live, what you'd like to be doing. It could be when you've retired, or it might just be something that you're planning on doing this evening. But just spend a moment thinking about where you'd like to picture yourself right now, and then just draw a little scene, including yourself as a brick person, including some scenery that you might find yourself in, what objects might be surrounding you in that environment. If there's any other people, maybe you've employed a huge team, maybe don't draw them all, but give an indication of some of them. Yeah, whatever you feel like drawing, have a little scene. So I'm going to draw as well. You can choose your own weather. My plan was to have music for this section, but it was too much of a technical headache for me. So, and I've opted not to sing to you. So count yourselves lucky. Does anyone feel like they're finished or about to? Yeah, you happy to share for? Oh, Chris, thank you. Oh, great. Fantastic. Ah, gorgeous though. Lovely. David, ah, brilliant. Brilliant. Fun. Thank you, Alice. It's great. Fantastic. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, oh, thank you, Jill. Oh, yeah, got it. In and out of focus. Yeah, it's lovely. Thank you. Fantastic. So yeah, I've moved to the seaside. I've got a little house with a big studio on the side. I have a pond because that's always been something that I would love to have. And I'm painting. So thank you for all joining in with that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. No, I'm not. Hang on. No, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? I'm going to I'm going to start sharing my screen. Apologies. And what you should see right, have you got the green screen which says your doodles and a QR code there? So if you wouldn't mind scanning that QR code with your phones. And oops, sorry, you've got me on there. There you go. Scan the QR code and it will take you to Padlet. It should take you to this Padlet. You'll get a little pink icon, I think it is, at the bottom of the screen, which you can then take a picture of your drawings or take pictures of your drawings and upload them straight onto the Padlet. They're anonymous. So they just come in as your pictures. So I just thought it would be really nice if we can share them and yeah, if we can see what everyone's up to, that'd be great. So you get a save and a publish and it will give you a silly name, which you can just accept.
Do we publish all of those or just the last one?
You can publish as many as you like. Yeah, whichever ones you'd like to. You don't have to do all of them, no. But and if you don't get to do them, you can always do them after the event, keep the link and do it afterwards. Because it would be nice to share with everyone afterwards what we've done. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, these are looking great. Thank you. And so I will share this later in the Slack if so other people can see as well. So does anyone have any questions about doodling? Change my
Well, I'll
video.
just add that I really loved the prompts.
Oh,
Oops.
thank you.
Yeah, the prompts is a very cool thing because sometimes on your own, your mind kind of runs out of direction. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you found it helpful. That's great.
Yeah, can I just quickly just an observation, and I think that maybe that's what makes it different from someone that can copy you and someone that actually has the eye for it. You know, because even when we were doing our little cloud imagination thing, I found it difficult to think how would those kind of arms look? I suppose that's something you can learn. So
Yes, that would just come with practice. And I think sometimes it might even be just putting yourself in that pose very briefly just to get the feel for
hmm.
it. But yeah, again, it's not about perfection, it's just about ideas. So well, thank
Thank
you
you,
very
Andrea.
much.
I really liked the 12 different shapes, building blocks to make things up. That's really great.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, it's gonna do an awful lot of things just with those 12 shapes. Yeah, even a giraffe. There you go. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you coming. So yes, if you want to reach out to me afterwards, then annemarie@carbonorange.com is my email, or find me on LinkedIn or message me on Slack if you're in Drive.